Alright, back for more work. Alright, I'm going to put the kicker on. So give me a chrome bolt. A little Loctite on it. Ooh. Not quite that much. I'm going to a chrome lock nut to go with it. A little bit of torque on it. Make sure the pedal's good and tight, not rattling. If it rattles down here, you need to tighten it up. That might require you to put it in the press and crush it to make sure it's tight. So this one here tightened up pretty good just by using the bolts. Definitely got some torque on it. Alright, we're still waiting for this part to come in yet, so we'll make do with what we got. Alright, the other stuff we got to do is we got a battery cable to swap out, and the speedometer came back from the speedo shop. So we got a couple different things to work on. So I'm going to work on the battery. So this back here we were having problems with it, so I'm going to swap it out. Let's get the seat out of my way. It's just on here for sitting anyway. Pull the pin out, special pin. You can't see anything I'm working on up here. Seat. See what happens if you get too close, you can't see anything. Alright, so we're having a problem with our battery cable here getting hot, so we're going to go ahead and replace this cable here with one of these new fancy style ones here, nice and soft and pliable. So this one here is an all balls here. This one here was a Sumax Southwire Royal welding cable. Yeah, it came from Sumax. Alright, so that'll get rid of the heat buildup on this one. And then this one here, we're going to swap this one out and put a good one all the way down, the solenoid down there too. It wasn't getting hot, but we'll go ahead and fix it and put a new one in there just in case. Get more cranking amps that way anyway. So that wasn't even very tight. I could explain quite a bit of what that was all about. Got a nut on the bottom. Nope. So we have a bunch of corroded hardware. Everything on here has corrosion on it. So that's not helping the power delivery. And of course we have a 1/4" bolt with a 3/8 hole. And we got a star washer underneath that trying to dig into the frame, which got rusty frame there. And that's a rusty cotter. Rusty one of those also. So there you go. You get all kinds of rust going on. No wonder it doesn't work. Okay. So this had a big hole here too instead of a 1/4 inch. So this is pretty much wrong size everywhere. Okay, this one has a 1/4 inch here. and we're going to be living with a 5/16 here instead of a 3/8. So I'm a little bit better than that, but it'd be best if it was 1/4 inch all the way around. And we're going to put a long one on here because he might have a later battery on the bike, so he wants to be able to put the other battery, which has the cables reversed between the two. We also want to have the lead going down, not across the top. So a couple things we're doing there. The other thing I want to do, I want to scrape the rust off the frame. So I get the handy pandy pocket knife, the go-to tool around here. It works for everything. I wonder why it gets dull. Could be from doing stuff like this all the time. Sure, this has nothing to do with it. Alright. So now that is de-rusted. A little bit better than it was anyway. Okay, now we do something about the rest of the rusting problems. So this is the bolt, this cable. Now if you put a cable directly against the frame without a star washer you think is going to make a better contact, but actually there's very, very little contact with a star washer. So it's better to have it terminal to frame direct. A little bit of grease in there so it won't corrode, and call it done, instead of putting these in between. If you want these, put them on top, because then at least the contact on the bottom will be 100%, and this will dig in from the top of the bolt. So I'll probably reverse it and do it that way. And the bolt itself doesn't matter if you have a little bit of corrosion on it, because the cable is going from the cable to the frame, not the other way around. The other thing you can do is you can put a quick shot of black paint on it, on the frame, and that way it won't corrode, and the cable will push the black paint away when you tighten it down. So I've been known to do that trick too. So this one here, we're just going to put some grease up on there. Try to keep from rusting. There's probably other stuff you can use, but it works. Put the star washer on top. So we're going to do it like this. You get that nice insulation on the cable, you want to make sure that is off of the frame. If it gets between the frame and the cable, you have to cut it, because rubber does not make good contact. So what I do is I put pressure on it, go back and forth on it, wiggle a little bit. Try to get a mark where it's hitting. And if it looks like the cable's in the way, like this one is, we cut that away. Insulation. We don't need insulation on our ground cable where we're trying to make contact. So just take that and slice it off. Doesn't have to be very pretty, it just has to be gone. Like that. Now we got good contact. Okay, so I cut the bottom away, and I went ahead and cut the top away too, so just in case that's in the way. cover all your bases. Okay, that's good and tight. So I got all this leftover cable. Squeeze that down like this. Make sure it's long enough to get to both sides of the battery, which it does. So we'll put that on this side. Twisting it. Okay. So now the cable will fit on there like that. So let's see where I can see it. Can't tell what you're looking at. I can't see nothing on this camera. There we go. There's the cable right like that. And over here, you can see how it's not hitting anything. It's important. Now I'm going to leave that disconnected for now because I got to work on this side. I want to short. So I'll pull this one off and move it to the other, clean up. It has to go all the way down to the solenoid on the other side. So as long as this cable's not connected, you don't short when you're working on this side. Kind of important thing. Just want to get a bunch of arc marks on your wrenches. I'm sure there's none on this. We would never do that, right? Just enough drag you can't unscrew it. Alright, pull that one off so you don't lose it. Now the battery's out of the way, look at that. Okay, so this cable here just kind of goes across right over here to the tranny, to the solenoid over there. So we're just going to pull that off, go on the other side, yank it off over there. Over here, pull this one off. Not quite as much room on this side of the bike. The first thing I do is get this boot off. Should just come right off. If not, you just put your screwdriver up under there. Kind of work it around a little bit. And remember, this was hot. You'd be making some arcs right now, so. Okay, get it out of the way. Pull this top post off. Okay, the cable can come out of there now. Assume it's not tied to anything. We're hoping it's not. And it looks like it's already halfway out. That'd be a plus. So, alright, cable's out. So this is the quality of the cable we got here. So this is fairly stiff, rigid cable, which is stock, what they use on a lot of stuff. This one here is looks like somebody made it. Not very good quality. Okay, I'll switch over to the heavy duty. Otherwise known as the welding cable style cable. So you see it's real nice and flexible. You tighten knots real easy. Yeah, nice and flexible. And we're a little bit longer, see. So that should allow us to reach the other side of the battery. Okay, the problem we have though is, see, this one here is 1/4 inch, which is great for the battery, but this is not 3/8, so we have to get this opened up to 3/8. Kind of important thing. So we need to go work on that a little bit. That's going to be fun to do. At least it's a nice thick copper terminal, so you got something to bite onto to work with it. Some of those ones are real thin, they like to wad up when you cut them and ream them, whatever. So we're going to go ahead and work on that a little bit. Get a 3/8 bolt. Alright, let's go over here to the official work area. Otherwise known as a dark hole over here. Everything's a dark hole. Turn the lights on helps. Let's see, let's go on the other side over here. Okay, so here's our cable. I got a rat tail file to help do it the old-fashioned way. This is the 3/8 bolt that needs to go in the hole, so a little bit off. So here's what I like doing. I like to use my reamers down here. So we just start putting a reamer in one hole at a time. See what happens. That's usually how I do it. So use my handy dandy drill motor. I'm not going to use a drill press because I want more control. Drill press, you wad that thing up in a heartbeat. Well, if you don't get bound up in it, it's not too awful bad, but when you get bound up in it, it wouldn't be too good. So I got a piece of wood with some holes in it, so the reamers can poke through the holes while I'm trying to ream it. Okay. Now you can either hold this with your hand or you can try to hold it with something. I'm pretty much just going to hold it in my hand. If it whips out of here, it whips out of here. There's the first hole. So that's first reamer. I'll go up the next size up over here and stand. Go the next one bigger. Now if I was to put a drill in there, the drill would auger drill right in, go like that, and it would catch and whip it around. Reamers have lots of cutting little flutes, so every little flute's a cutting edge, so it doesn't bite so hard. It can still bite, but it usually doesn't do that. Okay, so now we'll go to the next size bigger. So you just go one size at a time, it's not too much effort. The chip load, which is how much it digs in, is not very high. And you go one at a time. So this is 3/8 right here. So we're on a third one. Theoretically, that's all we need to go to, but we're going to go bigger than one size up. So see, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. Go at least one size bigger than 3/8. That way it slips on the post pretty easy. Okay, so now we got a 3/8 hole, 3/8 bolt. This must not be a 3/8. That's why it looks so big. This is a 3/8 bolt. Yeah, 3/8 fits fine. You got a little bit of clearance to work with it, so that ought to be a good one. Now I want to deburr the edges right here a little bit. So we can use our little deburring tool right here. Quick and simple. Takes off some of it. There we go. Make sure the bolt still fits in the hole. Still fits. So we're done. So now we got a 1/4 inch for our battery, and we got our 3/8 for that, and we still got a nice thick lug. And these are pretty solid lugs too, so nice and strong. And we didn't make too much of a mess because the chip lug is pretty small. We didn't cut much. Well, they cut a little. Now you could do the same thing with rat tail file, just by going back and forth like this. It just takes longer. Still works, just takes longer. Alright, we'll leave that for later. More of a mess to clean up. We'll have the cleanup party do that. How's that? Alright, turn our light off. Save electricity. It's California. We don't have any power here. At least that's what they keep claiming. That's why they keep raising the prices way up. Then everybody's got solar energy, so we don't need a power company, so what they do, they raise the prices more. Because now they're not making any money. That isn't how that works. Alright, so there's our cable. So I'm going to stuff this on through the same way it had before. We already had the route figured out, so we just continue the same method. Okay, let's see if we can get to it on the other side. Stop over here and grab my nose picker. Might come in handy. Gotta poke that wire through somehow. Oh, it came right through the top. Alright. That made it way too easy. So, come right through. Okay, now you just poke that back through the cover. Now we're coming across the top of that one. Go over the top. I knew I was going to need that tool. You always need your nose picker. It comes in real handy. Works good. Okay, this has to make a bend, so go ahead and make a nice tight bend right there with your finger. So it spring back kind of holds its dimension. You put that thing in there like that. Try to drop that. Hit the same thing again, kickstand lug. See, big step off the bench right here, you catch this damn lug right there. Always get my hands set to catching stuff. That way I get to go chase parts, pieces. You want to make sure your little cable here doesn't get screwed up, little wire. Make sure it's not being pinched to get anything that matters. Now when you tighten this up, you got to remember this is plastic. If you tighten it too much, it breaks. So you gotta be careful. Okay, kind of wiggle this thing around a little bit. And get your old nose picker out. And wrap it around. There, see how that works? Helps a lot. Okay, here's our wire right here. Make sure it's not being pinched. It's good. And everything's back up where it belongs. So everything's rooted into here nice and cleanly. It's not hitting on anything. Plenty of clearance to our clutch arm here. So we're good. Clutch rod. Alright, go back to the other side of the bike. So you can see how it comes through right here. Once again, you want to make sure it's not hitting on anything that matters. And you can see how we got plenty of room to get this side of the battery, or we can wrap it around and go this side. Yeah, make sure you're not digging into a sharp edge under here. These are pretty radiused off, so it shouldn't be too bad. If you're in doubt, put a little bit of conduit over this. Would protect it a little bit. And keep it from getting damaged any. I don't know if I have any conduit that goes over that big. You have to look over there in that big box right there. So if we think that'll go over it, we can cut off a piece of that, stick around it. Wouldn't hurt. One more layer of protection. So we'll grab the old cable and we'll see if it'll fit. The end's not kind of fits. I think it'll work. Okay. And we'll see if it'll fit on the wire we're actually going to use. So I got about a foot of it. Oh yeah, it'll kind of go. Kind of goes tight, which means it's not going to want to go very well. Like in, not a Harley at all. Bugs. Okay, we're good about to that far, and it wants to stop. Now, if you put a little bit of lubricant on there, it'll probably go easier. So we'll give it a little bit of CRC. Do the trick. So like all the CRC 336, good stuff. So a little bit of that down in the hole. Shake it up a little bit to mix it up, and then shove it on down. A little bit further. Nope. It's raining over on the other side here. Now, if I put a wire in there, I could yank on it. Probably would have helped. I didn't do that, did I? It pretty much doesn't want to go any more than where I'm at. Now, without putting a little extra pulling power. Alright, that was a test fit. There, it was tight. Appears to be tight. So we need a little extra pulling power. A little tie wire. Makes good for pulling power. So take a piece of this. Take your conduit that we just used. My way over here. Alright, so shove this all in there, come out the other side. Take your cable, wrap it up. Alright, do a little twisty. One trick you can do is take your end here and bend it back 180. So this way it doesn't dig into anything, which makes it harder to pull. Okay, now we just take this and do the same thing we just got done doing. So now we get a little bit extra pulling power. Okay, we went pretty quickly to about where we were before. Okay, now we just take this and try to pull it through. It's hard on your fingers. So put a rag around it would help. You can also wrap it around a wrench or something too would help. Okay, you want to make sure you squeeze it right here. And then we're pulling and shoving at the same time. All I'm doing is sliding on my end over here. So we're going to take our pliers right here. And we'll hold pliers and pull. Look at that. Right on down. Okay, come back up a little bit to hold it. And now we got a little extra protection on our thing. Now if you use that split corrugation stuff, what's going to say it's not going to split and be a problem down the road. It just opens up and falls out. When you got a solid piece of conduit, it doesn't fall out. Okay, let me just clip this off because I don't feel like unwinding it. Like that. Clip off the excess amount. I'm going to pull wire for later. Oh, I don't waste my wire. I always can reuse it. I roll it back up into a little roll so it stays a nice little package. There we go. And drop it on the floor, of course. So now it's all rolled up again, so easy to get. There we go. Simple. Okay, so now we got our cable in. Okay, the owner's going to tell me which battery he wants in here for now, but for now I'm using the early one. So the early battery has H on it. The late battery has an HL on it. So H is for heavy duty. But anyway, when you put the L on it, it's the late one. What happens is instead of positive being on this side, it goes to this side. They just reverse. Same battery. So right now with the longer cables on this bike, he can run whatever battery he can find. So if he's out in the middle of nowhere and he finds a battery off a newer Softail or a later Sportster or something, he can use it. If he's got an older bike, he can get an older Softail or whatever, he can got that too. So, he uses this battery in lots of different things. All the EVA 5-speed batteries have this one in there, or Sportsters. So, multiple application you come across. Even some jet bikes use the same battery. So you're not locked into just one thing. The disadvantage is you got more cable back there to get tangled up in something, possibly. But that's why I protected it with conduit. Okay, tighten that down good. There, get the other bolt on there. Hello. Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about that, but okay. What else? What else you need? I have no idea what piece you're talking about on that. Nothing's coming to mind, so I'm not sure what you got. Not right in front of me right now. I'm putting a cable on a bike, so let me call back in about 5 minutes and I'll go take a look. Okay, but looking for a part I'm not sure what I'm looking for. That's rare. Some part of the McKinney carburetor. Took it apart, lost a part. I'm not sure what part he needs, but we'll figure it out. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out how to get this cable up here so it's not a big pain in the butt. So I'm thinking right there is how I'm going to do it. Tighten this thing down. Okay. So now the battery's mounted. Notice I didn't get no arcing because I was working on the ground second. So the two cables are over here. So you got the ones arcing down like this. The positive cable's right here going around. And then the negative's over here, goes across the top right here. And we got plenty of slop right here. We can put this anywhere we need it over here. So it makes just a big S-curve. So that takes the load off this terminal right here. You don't want to bend it just right out of the terminal, so we got room here to expand it. The battery should sit on the outside edge because that's where the strap is. So the strap comes right across here. So you can come in this distance here from the edge, but it's pretty much put against the edge and strap it down. So we'll have to decide what we're going to do for that. He's going to have to build up some kind of little wood box structure to support this. We'll let him deal with that. But anyway, now we can use either cable on that, so it's a wide open program. Okay, the last thing we got to do is our speedometer right over here. So we got this all rebuilt. So now it's all nice and clean looking. We had to fix the jewel in it, which is basically a plastic bushing. I don't know how they call it a jewel. But anyway, it supports the center of the speedometer and the needle. And they re-lubed it. Because we didn't have any lube in it anymore. So, there's our nice speedo. So now we're going to see if it works. I can't spin it fast enough. Yep, can't spin it enough to make it do anything. Maybe it doesn't work. Don't know. It should work. Okay, so I'm going to lubricate the cable. Get some lube on it, because it didn't have any lube on it, on the cable part anyway. So I'm going to work on that. Here's our cable right here. Pulling that out of the bike up here. So this appears to have no form of lubrication on it at all. So lacking. So speedometer cables usually like to be lubricated. So if you don't lubricate your cable here, it will tend to break and be real notchy and cause the speedometer not to be happy also. So just take some disc brake grease. We're going to use some of this Champion's Choice stuff here because I'm trying to get rid of it. It's not worth putting Tribodine on there. So anyway, I just lube it up like this. Snot it up real good. Poke it down the cable, the housing. Just do like this the whole length of it. And it'll have lube in it. Because it definitely was lacking lubrication. When you get all the way down the end, you're going to have to rotate it to engage it into the speedometer drive at the bottom. Okay, right now it's a tight spot right there. There it goes. Must be going around the bend someplace. Now, if you can't push the cable in there, there's probably a tight bend someplace you need to fix. So these cables aren't made to be bent 90 degrees. They're made just to flex in an arc. Different dimensions, that's all. Okay, so now we got all our lube in it. So shove it on down. And you just kind of rotate it and shove it in at the end. And it's in all the way. Take a little bit of grease and I stuff it in the hole right here so This part of the speedometer gets a little lube on it too. Doesn't hurt. If you accidentally get some on the threads like that, it doesn't hurt either. Okay, this is held on with just 2 little screws and bolts. It's the older way of doing stuff. It's mounted solid. No stupid rubber mounted bushings or anything. So just 2 of these screws right here. That's all that holds it. Alright, first thing I do is get the nut that fell down back up where it belongs. So you take a little screwdriver and shove it back up in there. If that doesn't work, you can kind of tape it and shove it back up in there if you can get it up in there somehow. Okay, this one's not going to go that easy. Just bring it on down, pull it out, get it like that. Put a little tape, zip tie, something on the back side there. Just something to kind of hold it. Purposely put a couple of high spots in there so it won't slide down. You know, something messy like that. I can't tell what we're doing here. So, we just make it like that. So it's nice and messy. You can see the drive down the center now. Okay, and then you just go ahead and push it on up into the hole. And it should all go up in there if everything's good. Like that. Now your nut don't fall down. Amazing how that works. Then you got the square drive right here, so you just got to rotate it on the cable until it drops in. Yeah, it should be on it. Then go ahead and tighten the nut down. Usually I just use a little pair of channel locks to tighten the nut. A little bit, nothing too heavy. And you got the bulb, goes in the back side of it. Get a little stubborn. Take a little screwdriver and push on a little bit. Get the plastic to go into the socket, which he doesn't want to do. There it goes. Just push. Alright. The spable drops down. Put a couple screws in there and we should be good to go. So, let me see how it goes right on there. So all you do is put a couple screws right there and we should be good. Now the early dashes just have a small hole here. They don't have a big hole like the late dashes where they take the rubber mount. So that's how you tell an original dash from a repop and from a later dash. Even though they look kind of similar, they are different. So it's up to you to know what you're buying or looking for when you're doing stuff. So these are little screws and these are little 1024s probably. Looks like they're about 3/8 inch long. Straight slot. Makes it nice and hard to do anything. Sometimes they have little bolts they used up in here, which I would think would be better. Use what you got. Let's see, that's going to be not the metric nut. So it looks like it takes a 7/16 and a screwdriver. We can handle that. You probably have a little bit of adjustability in here in the clearances to finagle the speedo a little bit. So, to fit the dash, you got to put the dash cover in there and see how it fits before you get it super tight. This one has very little clearance to play with. So I think we're pretty well going to be locked in. like this a lot better than stupid ass clips using the new bikes. Always seem to fall out. Just tighten down like that and they're in there. Don't have to worry about it again. Okay, everything's nice and solid, so it gets maximum vibration to it now. If it's built right, it'll live. Alright, so that's it for that. So get this stuff cleaned up and then we'll start this thing up and see how it runs for a little bit. And if everything checks out good, we'll get the gas tanks on this thing here pretty quickly. Alright, that's it for now.